streets below. They never sleep, engines growl, neon flickers, sirens cry. The city is alive, but it doesn't know who's watching. I do. From above, the rooftops are mine. Most people never look up. That's their first mistake. They don't realize that the city wears two faces, the one they walk through and the one that looms above them, stacked in steel and concrete. Up here, the city doesn't scream, it whispers. Every rooftop carries secrets, like scars carved into the skyline, and I've learned to listen. Tonight, the whispers are louder than usual. The air is heavy with static, not the kind from a broken radio. This is sharper, coded, intentional. Somewhere between the antennas and satellite dishes, a hidden signal skips across the rooftops like a shadow of its own. I crouch near a rusted tower, the metal groaning under my weight, and place my hand against the steel. The vibration is faint, but alive. Whoever is sending the signal isn't speaking to the public. They're speaking in riddles, and they don't expect anyone like me to hear them. That's their second mistake. From up here, I see everything they want hidden. Men in suits slipping into buildings without signs, rooftop doors left unlocked, like they're waiting for a meeting no one should witness. I track their movements from above, ants in a maze, unaware of the hawk overhead. They think the city belongs to them, that they can carve it up with their secrets, stitch their conspiracies into its veins. But the city doesn't belong to them, and it doesn't belong to me either. It belongs to the people who walk its streets without fear. At least it should. I adjust my mask, feel the cool air cut across the fabric. The rooftops stretch out before me, endless bridges of tar and metal, stitched together by shadows. My kingdom, if I ever believed in kingdoms. But I'm not a king. I'm just the echo they can't silence. The signal grows stronger. It's coming from the east, the old industrial quarter. No one goes there anymore, not unless they have something to hide. Broken factories, hollow warehouses, and rooftops that sink under their own rust. A perfect place to bury a secret. A perfect place to kill a city from the inside out. I leap across a narrow gap, boots landing on concrete with the silence of someone who's done this 1,000 times. Below me, a couple argues outside a diner, oblivious to the storm gathering above their heads. That's how conspiracies thrive, in plain sight, while no one's paying attention. I whisper to myself, words carried away by the wind. Every shadow hides a truth. Every truth hides a danger. The static crackles louder. Now I can almost make out words, distorted through interference. Not complete sentences, just fragments. The blackout, control, 5 districts, obedience. Enough to tell me I'm not chasing ghosts tonight. Enough to tell me the city is already in danger. I keep moving from rooftop to rooftop. My shadow stretches and bends. Just another fragment of darkness in a city that's drowning in it. But unlike the others, mine fights back, because I am Shadow Man. And tonight, the rooftops are whispering a conspiracy I can't ignore. The rooftops narrow as I move east. The buildings grow older here, their bones cracking under decades of neglect. Chimneys lean like crooked teeth, and rusted pipes drip down the walls like veins. Every step feels like walking across the ribs of a dying giant, but the signal keeps pulling me forward. Stronger, clearer. I stop near a rooftop antenna, its frame trembling as though it's breathing. I press my earpiece against the metal, letting the vibrations bleed through. The whispers aren't whispers anymore. They're fragments of coded speech, voices cloaked in static, layered like overlapping masks. District 3 blackout confirmed. Hold until the hour strikes. Council will silence the noise. The Council. It isn't the first time I've heard that name. It surfaces in hidden forms, in the ramblings of men who vanished before dawn, in reports that never reach daylight. The Council doesn't show its face. It doesn't need to. It only moves pieces on the board until the game belongs to them, Todd. And now, their hands are on my city. I crouch low, tracing the signal with my scanner. It isn't coming from one place. It's bouncing between rooftops, relayed like a secret torch passed hand to hand. Whoever designed it knew how to cover their trail. But every trail leaves residue, no matter how faint. I leap across a gap, landing beside a rooftop door. Rust clings to the handle. I test it. Locked. Doesn't matter. I slide a blade under the ledge. Twist. The door creaks open like it hasn't been touched in years. Inside, dust dances through thin shafts of moonlight. It smells of mildew and burnt wires, a forgotten storage room. But on the far wall, I find what I came for, a crude relay station, all the radio equipment, patched together with newer tech. The kind you only build when you don't want anyone to trace the origin. The static hisses through. The speakers. I turn the knob slowly, fine-tuning until the voices sharpen. Fear creates obedience. A night without light is a night of silence. 5 districts will fall first. The rest will follow. My jaw tightens. They're planning a blackout, not a random one. A coordinated plunge into darkness. Most people don't think about how fragile the city really is. One pull of a switch, one corrupted grid, and everything collapses. Traffic lights dead. Security systems useless, hospitals blind. In the dark, fear doesn't just spread, it consumes. I imagine it, 5 districts silenced at once, sirens, without power, families fumbling in blackness, and then the Council's voice filling the void, telling people what to believe, controlling them. Not while I'm here. I take the transmitter apart, fingers steady despite the urgency. Wires, chips, burned out circuits. I pocket a fragment of the board. Evidence, proof that this isn't paranoia, that the whispers are real. The rest I smash, scattering pieces across the floor. The voices cut off. Silence swallows the room. For a second, I almost enjoy it. But silence in this city never lasts. From the corner of my eye, I catch movement across the rooftop outside. Shadows shift where they shouldn't. Figures, watching. I duck back into the shadows of the room, slow my breathing. 3 of them, no 4. Mass, black as oil. Suits tailored, precise. Too precise for rooftop wanderers. These aren't common thugs. These are sentinels. One of them taps an earpiece, mutters something. The others fan out, scanning the rooftops. They're hunting. And they know someone's listening who shouldn't be. The Council doesn't waste time. They plant their whispers. And if anyone hears what they shouldn't, they send shadows to erase them. I draw my blade, its edge glinting in the faint moonlight. My reflection stares back at me for half a heartbeat before disappearing. They want silence, first sentinel steps closer, boots crunching gravel. He scans the rooftop, weapon slung low. A rookie, his mistake. I slip behind him, one hand over his mask, dragging him into the dark. A swift strike to the neck. He collapses without sound. The others pause, sensing something wrong. The hunt turns, sharper, their movements tighter. Now it's not a search, it's a purge. I smile beneath the mask. The rooftops aren't theirs, they're mine. The whispers brought me here. The council thinks they're the only ones who can weave secrets into the night. They're wrong, because in this city, no one knows the shadows like I do. Asterisk, the first body, hits the ground without a sound. I ease him down, careful not to let the rooftop betray me with a thud. His mask stares up at the night sky, blank, soulless, like the man inside never mattered. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he was just another disposable pawn in the council's game. But pawns don't hunt rooftops at midnight with military precision. No, these sentinels are more than pawns. Their whispers given flesh. The others sense it. One taps the side of his mask. A signal. They tighten formation, back to back, weapons drawn. Hunting patterns. That means they've trained for someone. Like me. That's their mistake. I move, quick, low, across gravel, behind rusted ductwork, slipping through patches of shadow so thick even the moon can't reach me. They scan with flashlights, narrow beams cutting through the dark like knives. But light can only pierce what it touches. It never sees the things hiding just beyond out. Another step, another breath. One of them peels away from the group, checking the relay station I just dismantled. He mutters into his comm, relay compromised, intruder confirmed. So now I'm not a theory, I'm real, and they're afraid. I let him speak just long enough to finish his sentence, then strike. My hand clamps down over his mask, blade sliding fast and precise across the cords of his neck. His body jerks, then crumbles. I drag him into the shadows before the others notice. Dot to down, to left, but they've learned. The last pair move faster, sweeping their lights in erratic arcs, firing short bursts into the dark whenever they sense movement. Bullets chew through rooftop air vents. Sparks fly. One grazes my shoulder. He lances through me. A reminder I'm not untouchable. I grit my teeth, drop low, roll behind a ventilation shaft. The city hums below. Oblivious. Cars pass. Lovers argue in alleys. Children dream in beds. No one knows that above them. For men were sent to silence the truth. Two are already gone. The last pair close in. I hear their boots pound the gravel. Deliberate, in sync. They're not sloppy. Whoever trained them knew discipline. I pull a smoke charge from my belt. Not standard issue, but nothing about me is standard. I toss it across the rooftop. It clatters, hissing, spilling thick gray, tendrils into the night. They curse, masks muffled, lights bouncing uselessly in the fog. I slip behind them, silent, patient, a shadow among smoke. The first sentinel disappears with a quick strike to the spine, not fatal, but paralyzing. The second spins, too late, weapon raised. My blade knocks it away. My elbow meets his mask. He staggers. I finish with a kick that sends him tumbling over the rooftop's edge. He doesn't scream. The silence swallows him before the ground ever does, and just like that, the rooftop belongs to me again. I crouch, catching my breath, letting the smoke drift apart. For sentinels down, but that's not victory. If they send 4, they'll send 40, and if they know I'm listening, they'll change the game. I glance back at the ruined relay station. Fragments of their broadcast still buzz in my earpiece. Fractured, glitching, I catch one last phrase before the line dies completely. Phase 1 compromised, initiate fallback sequence. My stomach knots. Fallback doesn't mean retreat. Not for the council. It means escalation. I stand at the edge of the rooftop. The city sprawling beneath me like an endless battlefield. Lights glitter, windows glow, unaware of the storm creeping closer. The whispers aren't finished. Neither am I. I pull my hood tighter and leap to the next rooftop. The hunt has just begun. The rooftop is quiet now, too quiet for men erased, and yet the silence feels heavier than their footsteps ever did. It's the kind of silence that presses against your ribs, waiting to see if you'll break. I know better. The council's silence is never empty. It's full of meaning. It's full of warnings. I linger at the relay station, crouching low. The circuits are still warm, humming faintly, like a dying heart refusing to give up. I run my fingers across the panel, feeling scratches carved into the metal. Not random damage, deliberate etchings. Symbols dot at first glance. They look like graffiti. But I've seen these before. Half-forgotten codes buried in government archives, whispered by defectors who swore the council existed, but could never prove it. Triangles interlocked with circles. Numbers scrawled like coordinates dotted isn't art. It's a map. I sketch it in my notebook. The page is already heavy with shadows of nights like this. My pen scratches as fast as my thoughts, tracing patterns, connecting lines. Each symbol bleeds into the next, building towards something bigger, a network, a design. The blackout isn't chaos, it's architecture. I tuck the notebook away, but my ears catch something, the faintest buzz, not from this rooftop, but another, east. Maybe 2 blocks over. The council doesn't put all their eggs in one basket. They scatter the pieces, like breadcrumbs, confident no one will follow the trail. They're wrong. I move again, boots silent against tar and gravel, body low against the skyline. From rooftop to rooftop, I cross the city's veins. Steam rises from pipes, hissing like serpents. A dog barks far below, the sound carrying up like an alarm. When I reach the next building, I pause. The rooftop is littered with broken furniture, shattered glass, but in the center, a generator hums softly, hooked to a transmitter far more advanced than the last. A green light pulses steady, like a heartbeat. I kneel beside it. The signal here is clear. Voices come sharp, unfiltered, dripping through my earpiece. District grids sensed, phased to a line. Emergency lines rerouted. Hospitals offline by 0 hour. When the lights die, the council speaks. I clench my fists. Hospitals. That means they're not just planning panic. They're planning death. Machines will fail. Ventilators will stop. Lives depending on wires and electricity will be snuffed out, quiet and unseen. This isn't conspiracy theory. It's conspiracy fact. I press the recorder on my belt, saving every word, evidence, proof. Someday, someone will need to see this, but tonight, it's not about proof. It's about survival. The voices shift, lowering. A new one cuts through the static, colder, calmer, not coded fragments. A speech. Fear thrives in darkness, and darkness thrives when the people believe they are alone. We will show them their aloneness. We will show them silence. From silence comes obedience, and from obedience, order. The council's voice, not just whispers now, not fragments, a declaration. I should leave, destroy the transmitter, move before more sentinels arrive. But my body doesn't move, not yet. My instincts scream, listen. Every word is a piece of the weapon they're building. The voice continues. 5 districts, first. The rest will follow when the people beg for control. Their leaders will kneel, their law will bend, and the city will belong to silence. My teeth grind behind the mask. Silence isn't peace, it's slavery. I pull a small EMP charge from my belt. Crude, homemade, but enough. I place it against the transmitter, press the switch, and step back. The pulse hits with a dull thump, lights flickering out, generator whining into death. The rooftop exhales into darkness. I don't wait for their response. They'll know another relay is down. They'll send more sentinels, but I'll be gone by then, swallowed by the night. They think they own Dot as I leap to the next rooftop. The words echo in my mind, heavy as chains. From silence comes obedience. From obedience, order. They think silence is their weapon. They haven't met me yet. Because I am the sound that won't die. The shadow they can't erase. And tonight, their whispers are mine to unravel. Asterisk. The city stretches beneath me like a living circuit board. Every rooftop, every wire, every glowing light, connected, humming with hidden life. I've always known the rooftops breathe secrets, but tonight, those secrets bleed together into something bigger. I stop on a ledge, the wind whipping my coat, and open my notebook. The crude sketches of symbols, numbers, and relay markings spread across the pages like a disease. At first they looked scattered, random, but patterns never stay hidden. Not from me. I connect the marks, drawing lines across the page. One rooftop symbols overlap with another. The circles form a chain, cutting through the city's heart. When the lines meet, the shape hits me like a strike to the chest. A grid. The council isn't just planting whispers, they're building a network. Each relay station, each rooftop, is a node in a larger system designed to strangle the city's power from above. And when the grid is complete, the blackout won't just be 5 districts. It'll spread like a plague, block by block, street by street, until nothing is left but silence. I trace the outline with my finger. The epicenter sits at the industrial quarters core. A cluster of rooftops marked with heavier codes. That's the key. Take that hub out, and the entire blackout collapses. But I'm not the only one reading maps tonight. As I study the page, my earpiece crackles again. A new transmission bleeds through. This one's stronger than the rest. It isn't meant for me, but it's close enough to cut straight into my head. Grid synchronization at 70%. Final sequence requires uplink from central hub. Deployment confirmed for 0 hour. 70%. That means I'm running out of time. I close the notebook, shove it back into my belt. My pulse quickens, My city is hanging by a wire, and the council's hand is already on the switch. I start moving. Faster now. My boots strike concrete, leap across chasms, land silent on iron beams. The rooftops blur beneath me, each one another step toward the truth. The map leads me deeper, toward the industrial heart where smokestacks rise like broken monuments. The air here is different, heavier. It smells of rust, oil, and secrets. I pause on a tall rooftop overlooking the district. Below, the streets are deserted. No cars, no late-night wanders. It's as if the entire quarter has been abandoned to silence. Only the rooftops are alive, crawling with shadowed figures. Sentinels, dozens of them. They patrol in pairs, flashlights slicing across the roofs, guarding the network as if it were sacred ground. And maybe to them, it is tied at the center. I see it. The hub, a massive array of antennas, dishes, and power converters, cobbled together with military precision. Its lights blink in rhythm, pulsing like a heart, sensing the entire grid. The council's control room in the sky. I crouch low, letting the scope of it sink in. Every line on my map points here. Every whisper I've heard tonight flows back into this place. This is it. The conspiracy given shape. I whisper into the night, almost to myself. They're not just killing the lights. They're killing choice, freedom, one blackout at a time. I feel the weight of it pressing down. The council doesn't need to raise armies or fire weapons. All they need is silence. In silence, fear multiplies. In fear, obedience grows. I know the logic too well, because I've lived it. For a moment, my mind drifts back to nights before the mask, before the shadows, nights when silence wasn't power, but prison, when I was just another voice drowned out by the noise of those who ruled. I swore never again, and now here I am, staring at the same machinery dressed in different clothes. The hub glows, mocking me. I shake the memories off. No time for ghosts. Tonight isn't about the past. It's about the city breathing tomorrow. I pull out my recorder, capturing images of the hub with its blinking lights and circling sentinels. Proof. Again. But proof won't stop them. Destruction will doubt the problem is numbers. I count at least 30 sentinels across the rooftops, armed, trained, disciplined. Taking them head-on would be suicide, even for me. But I'm not here to fight them all. I'm here to cut the heart from the body. The hub pulses again, louder now, humming so deep I feel it in my bones. The oblique sequence is beginning. Once complete, the blackout will be irreversible. Time shrinks around me. My choice is narrow. I grip the edge of the rooftop, my voice low, steady, almost ritualistic. Every shadow hides a truth. Every truth hides a danger. And every danger has a weakness. I just have to find it before the lights go out. The hub glows like a living wound in the city's flesh. Antennas claw at the night sky, their lights pulsing in perfect rhythm. It's too organized, too deliberate. This isn't improvisation. The council has planned every detail, rehearsed every move. 30 sentinels, maybe more. Masks glinting faintly in the glow of the machines, weapons hanging ready. Boots stomping in sync. To most eyes, it would look like an army, but I've learned armies crumble when their leaders lose their heart. And that heart is beating right there, at the center of the hub. I patrols from the safety of shadow, patterns emerge. They think they're unpredictable, but humans always repeat themselves. Left side sweep every 60 seconds, perimeter cross every 90. The pair on the west roof lean too heavily on their rifles, slower, careless. The flaw is their eye move. From my vantage point, I slip down the side of a crumbling wall, boots catching rusted ledges. The scent of oil is stronger here. Mixed with ozone from the electrical discharge, my skin tingles. This entire rooftop array is a lightning storm waiting to happen. Perfect. I land silently on a lower ledge, crouching as the sentinels pass above. Their voices filter down, phased and nearly sensed. Council says 3 hours left, then silence will fall. 3 hours. The blackout isn't just imminent, it's breathing down my neck. I pull a grappling line from my belt, hook it, and swing across a narrow alley into the skeletal remains of a half-collapsed warehouse. From there, I crawl along rusted beams, moving above the patrols like a ghost. The hub looms larger with every step, wires snake across rooftops, connecting towers like veins. Generators hum with dark energy, vibrating the metal under my palms. My ears buzz with static just being near them. When I'm close enough, I spot something worse. Blueprints spread across a table inside a makeshift command post. Paper pinned under bricks, glowing faintly in the lantern light. I zoom in through a broken panel of glass. The designs aren't just for the city. They're wider, larger districts beyond, neighboring cities. The blackout isn't a one-eyed assault. It's a blueprint for expansion. A domino chain of silence stretching far beyond the skyline. My breath slows. This isn't about my city anymore. It's about control on a scale I can barely imagine. I whisper, almost against my will. They're not testing, they're practicing. The thought sickens me. Tonight is just rehearsal. A pair of sentinels approach the table. One jabs a finger at the map. Synchronization is too slow. If the hub fails, the other cuts him off sharply. The council doesn't tolerate failure. You know what happens. The first nods, silent now. Even their enforcers are afraid of the council. That tells me more than any broadcast ever could. I descend lower, slipping behind an exhaust vent. My eyes scan for weak points. Generators feed into converters. Converters feed into uplink towers. Destroy one tower, they reroute. Destroy all towers, the hub dies. But it won't be simple. Each tower is guarded, each circuit reinforced. The council knows their lifeline is fragile, so they've wrapped it in steel and guns. Still, nothing is untouchable. I crawl closer, moving rooftop to rooftop, until I'm near the western edge of the hub. Two sentinels guard the nearest tower. Their patrol is lazy, predictable. I watch them for a full minute, memorizing their rhythm. Then I strike. A drop from above, blade flashing quick and silent. The first goes down before his rifle clears his shoulder. The second turns, too slow. A strike to the throat, then silence. I drag their bodies behind the tower, lost in shadow. I kneel beside the generator. Wires hum beneath my fingers, hot with current. One small charge could fry it, but if I act too soon, the others will see the blackout ripple through the system. Timing is everything. I plant the first charge, hidden under the casing. A fail-safe, insurance stop, then I slip back into the night, deeper into the web. The closer I get to the command post, the clearer the transmissions become. My earpiece catches fragments not meant for me. Council voice preparing live address. Signal will override all frequencies at 0 hour. No one will hear anything but the council. So that's the real plan. Not just silence, replacement. When the lights go out, the council will be the only voice left out, not silence. Obedience. My jaw clenches. I can already hear it. A voice spreading across dead radios. Hijack screens, hijack minds, a city listening, not because they want to, but because they have no choice. Not while I'm breathing. I climb higher, onto a beam overlooking the hub's center. From here I can see it all, the blinking towers, the patrolling sentinels, the table with its blueprints of expanding silence, and above it all, the moon caught in a haze of smoke, as if even the sky is ashamed. I whisper to myself, steady, focused, cut the heart, the body dies, the hub pulses below me, my charges are ready, my path is set, but 30 guards still breathe between me and the heart of their machine, and somewhere inside, a voice waits, the council's voice, the whisper behind every shadow, the hand behind every silence. I tighten my grip on the beam, feel the steel bite my gloves. The city doesn't know it's standing on the edge of silence, but I do dot, and I won't let it fall. Asterisk, the hum of the hub has its own rhythm, low, steady, mechanical, but beneath it, I hear something else, a discordant sound. Boots moving faster, voices cutting sharper. They know. The sentinels have found the bodies I left behind. Their shouts echo through the steel canyons. Sector breach. Eyes open. The ghost is here. Ghost. They don't even know my name. That's how it should be. But anonymity doesn't stop bullets. I moved out, my body flows along the beams, each step measured, each breath controlled. The rooftops blur beneath me as I leap from one to another, cloak snapping in the wind. The city is my map, my weapon. I know where to step, where to cling, where to vanish top below. Sentinels flood the alleys, their lights sweeping upward. Laser sights slice through smoke like red serpents. Hunting me, I keep low, my silhouette broken against the jagged skyline. One wrong step, and their rifles will sing. I dart left, landing on a crumbling billboard. Metal groans under my weight. Too loud, a searchlight swings my way. Contact, the night erupts. Gunfire rips the silence into shreds. Sparks dance off the rusted sign as I roll behind its frame. Shards of paint and steel rain down. I grate my teeth. No more shadows. The chase has begun. I leap, vaulting across a gap onto the next roof. Bullets trace my path, cutting through the night air where I have been seconds before. My heart hammers, but not from fear, from precision. Every breath is a calculation. Every step is survival. A trio of sentinels burst from a stairwell ahead, rifles raised. I don't hesitate. I slide under the first burst of fire, momentum carrying me forward. My blade flashes once, twice. Two sentinels fall before the even. Know I was real. The third lunges at me, blade drawn. His swing is wild, desperate. I catch his arm, twist, and hurl him off the roof. His scream is swallowed by the abyss below. I whisper to the darkness, stay quiet. Time to linger, that alarms well now, pulsing across the rooftops. The entire hub knows I'm here. But the louder they get, the calmer I become. Noise is there, strength, silence is mine. I sprint again, this time toward the tallest antenna. Its blinking light is a beacon, both a target and a trap. Sentinels pour toward it, drawn like moths, exactly what I need. But the city throws obstacles at me. Rooftops shift from flat tar to jagged ruins. Beams jut out like broken bones. Gaps widen, forcing me into longer leaps. The patrols tighten their nets. I vault across a 10-foot drop. My boots hit stone, roll, rise again. Shots whiz past my head. One grazes my shoulder, burning hot. But I keep moving. Pain is information, nothing more. A rooftop garden, long abandoned, stretches ahead. Dead vines claw at my legs as I cut through. The plants whisper against my cloak like the voices of the city, urging me forward. Suddenly a drone rises from the smoke. Its red eye locks on me. Whirring blades, mounted cannon. Target acquired. The machine's voice is metallic, merciless. I dive as the first volley erupts, tearing the rooftop apart. Concrete sprays, flames licking at the air. I roll behind the vent, rip a charge from my belt, and hurl it skyward. The explosion lights the night. The drone spirals, screaming like metal torn from the earth, before crashing into the hub below. The shockwave rattles the towers. Sentinels scatter in panic dot, and in that chaos, I slip further into the maze. But the council adapts quickly. I hear in their commands, broadcast through the comms I hijacked. Box him in. Seal the western block. Rooftop nets deployed. They're hurting me, forcing me toward the center. Toward the very heart I came to cut out. Good.I dart through another quarter of beams, emerge on the lip of the central tower. From here the city looks like a dying constellation. Flickering lights, patches of darkness, smoke rising where power already falters. The hub pulses louder now, its machines working overtime. As if sensing my intent, I crouch, steadying my breath. My path isn't escape, my path is deeper. The council wants me in the heart of their web. Let them have me, because once I'm inside, their silence won't spread. It will shatter. The chase drove me here, exactly where they wanted, but I wanted it too. The heart of the hub looms before me, a monolith of steel and shadow, its surface rippling with wires and panels. Pulsing like veins under skin, I feel the thrum of electricity through my boots, each vibration echoing up my bones. This isn't just a machine, it's alive. The sentinels ring it in tight formation, rifles at the ready, masks gleaming. I don't attack, not yet. I slip through cracks, cling to beams, weave through darkness, the way blood weaves through capillaries. Inside the tower, the hum grows louder. Lights flicker red against the steel gutters. Doors is open and shut as enforcers hurry past, oblivious to the shadow crawling behind them. Every step deeper feels heavier, as though the walls themselves are pressing inward, watching me. My earpiece crackles again, uninvited, and the voice slithers through. Closer, you're closer than anyone before you. The council, not many words, but enough to lace my veins with fire. They know I'm here, they want me here. I pause at a junction where wires braid into a knot, feeding a massive generator. Its surface is warm, almost breathing. I press a gloved hand to it, close my eyes. The current hums like 1,000 whispers at once, all merging into one. This is the blackout's heart. If I destroy it now, the city is safe, but instinct claws at me. It isn't that simple. I keep moving. The corridors twist downward, like descending a spine. Guards multiply. Drones hover, but they're sloppy in their confidence. One by one, I peel them away from the herd. A choke in the shadows, a silent blade, a body dragged into vents. Their absence doesn't ring alarms, not yet. Finally, I reach the chamber top. It yawns open before me like a cathedral. Vast ceilings, wires hanging like black vines, machines stacked in spirals. Screens pulse with static, flashing glimpses of faces. Mine, citizens, children, soldiers, each distorted, each silent, and at the center, the voice. A pillar of machinery rises higher than any tower I've scaled, crowned with speakers and emitters. Its pulse is deeper, heavier, like a second heartbeat in my chest. And then it speaks, not in words, in layers, thousands of whispers, merging into one. Male, female, young, old, every pitch, every cadence, overlapping until the sound itself feels endless. You finally came. I tightened my grip on my blade. I came to end this. The whispers laugh, a terrible sound, hollow and infinite. You mistake silence for weakness. It is strength. When the city cannot speak, it cannot resist. When it cannot resist, it obeys. The screens flare, images of riots, police cracking down, citizens on their knees. The council's will, carved in fire and shadow. You are one man, a flicker, a shadow. What is a shadow against silence? I step forward, heart pounding steady. A shadow reminds them where the light is. The chamber erupts, alarms scream, lights flare blood red. Sentinels pouring from every side, rifles raised, faces blank behind their masks. The voice doesn't stop. Crush him. Make the city watch as its last whisper dies. I exhale slowly, feeling the weight of every rooftop, every alley, every vow I made to this city. No, I whisper back. They'll watch their silence break. I press the trigger. Charges I planted earlier ignite one by one. Explosions ripping through the hub's veins. Sparks rain like meteors. Towers collapse inward. The floor trembles as fire eats its way upward. The sentinels open fire, but the chaos swallows them. I dart between blasts, cloak catching flame and smoke. My blade sings once, twice, thrice, a dance of steel in a storm of fire. The voice roars, distorted and furious. You cannot silence silence, but it's already faltering. The whispers crackle, glitching into fragments, breaking apart, and through the thunder of collapse, I speak the last words they'll ever hear. Every empire falls, even yours. The chamber shatters, the hub screams its last breath, and I leap into the night as fire consumes the heart of their machine. The city's lights flicker once, twice, then stabilize. Power restored. Screens go dark. The voice is gone. For now, I land hard on a rooftop as the tower collapses behind me, smoke curling like a serpent into the sky. The people will wake tomorrow and never know how close they came to silence, but I'll know, and I'll be waiting, because shadows shadows never rest. Asterisk, the city breathes again. For the first time in hours. Its pulse steadies. Streetlights hum back to life. Windows glow with fragile warmth. And the silence that almost claimed it fades into the distance. From my rooftop perch, I watch as the last embers of the hub collapse inward. Steel bends, sparks rise. Smoke spreads like ink across the stars, a graveyard of wires and ambition. I should feel victory, relief, but I don't, because I know what victory feels like, and this isn't it. The blackout was stopped, the voice silenced, but as the smoke curls higher, something lingers in it, not just the memory of what burned, but the echo of what survived. I close my eyes, listening, beneath the crackle of dying fire, beneath the soft hum of the city's lights. I hear it, a whisper, not loud, not clear, but present. You cut one wire, we are the web. My jaw tightens. The council, they didn't need the hub. They wanted it, yes, but they don't rely on any single machine, any single voice. The web is larger, invisible, and tonight I've only burned one thread. The city thinks it's safe. It sleeps easier under the glow of restored lights. Parents hold children tighter. Radios buzz with static, but static feels like comfort now. They don't know the council is already weaving again. They don't see the hands behind the curtain, but I do. The skyline stretches before me. Endless rooftops, endless alleys, endless shadows. And I know somewhere out there, new towers will rise, new whispers will spread, new silence will creep. I whisper back into the night, not to them, but to myself. They'll never own this city, not while I'm breathing. The wind catches my cloak, the rooftops welcome me. I move again, a shadow sliding across the veins of steel and concrete. Somewhere below, life returns, laughter, footsteps, a lone street musician testing his strings. The city is alive, for now, and in the distance, I swear I see it, a single red light blinking atop a far tower, pulsing steady like a heartbeat, too steady, too deliberate. The council watches still, and I will be waiting, because shadows don't fade, they follow, they protect, they endure. Outro, the whisper to the audience. You've walked with me through the smoke, you've seen the towers fall, but don't mistake tonight for the end. The council doesn't die in fire, it hides, it waits, and when the city grows quiet again, it will strike louder than before. That's why I don't rest, why I patrol rooftops when others sleep, why I listen when others try to forget, because the whispers haven't stopped, they've only grown softer, and I need you to listen with me. If you want to know when the next shadow moves, if you want to see the moment the whispers return, then stay close, watch the skyline with me, follow the darkness, because the city isn't safe yet, and neither are you. This is Shadow Man, until